hopefully this doesn't fuck up and it makes me cry. Hi, my name's Ormaster101.
Hello.
And after a very lengthy talk about the bureaucracy of death in certain media, we're playing Have a Nice Death for today's Random Fact Friday.
Bitchin'.
Yeah. Now,
James?
Oh, sorry, go ahead. No, I was just saying I've never played this before, so this is a new save slot. I just saw, like, it got up... Oh, this is...
It's titties.
No, it's... I love this intro animatic of just, like, death going... Like death existing and being like, fuck y'all. Oh my god. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry, I'll be quiet.
James Cain improvised scenes while filming The Godfather. He broke the FBI character's camera after getting genuinely heated, and from his upbringing, he simply pulled out money to pay for the damages and walked away.
He died recently, didn't he?
I think so. Look at James Cain.
Oh my god, this game is literally the bureaucracy of the fucking afterlife. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, he died. He died yesterday.
Oh, that's sad. Chris, I'm losing my mind. This is my new favorite game.
The Vennbahn is a former railway line that runs across Germany, but the trackbed of the line is part of Belgium, so it creates 5 exclaves of Germany, one of which is only a house with a garden.
You know what the United States needs more of? They need more, we need more...
Rail?
Yeah, we need more railways.
Yeah.
Like,
we went from the rail capital of the world to... we don't even hardly have... When's the last time you've ever ridden on a train?
Never.
I've ridden on, like, one train.
Yeah, like... Trains literally took you everywhere in, like, the early 1900s.
It's because cars. We replaced everything with cars.
What if... You know what I would do with time travel if I could? I would go back and just, I guess, blow up Thomas Ford or something. I don't know.
Thomas Ford?
That's not his
Henry
name.
Ford?
Henry Ford. I don't know why I said Thomas.
Another random fact, Henry Ford was an asshole who blamed his son for the Great Depression.
Huh.
Leaps of logic, I guess.
What did his son do exactly?
His son didn't cause the Great Depression, but his son took over the company, and then there was a massive dip in sales because of the Great Depression, and he blamed his son on it for it.
Huh. What a dick.
To the point of having his son ousted.
Fuck him.
Yeah. Baseball player Al the Hebrew Hammer Rawson was an amateur boxer and known for challenging anyone who insulted his heritage or used anti-Semitic slurs to a fight. He stated his preferred method for dealing with anti-Semitism was to flatten them.
Huh.
The Drazenines are pedal-powered rail cycles. They were used for recreation on unused railway lines in Europe, South Korea, and the United States. The United States tours have operated in several states nationwide. They used to be used for railway maintenance.
Interesting.
The YMCA, the Young Men's Christian Association, was founded on the principles of muscular Christianity, a Christian philosophy that ties physical strength to spiritual strength, and the creation of the modern Olympic Games was also influenced by this philosophy.
Huh, I guess that puts I guess that puts the YMCA song into a different context now, don't you think?
Yeah. Tom Dolan, despite having both exercise-induced asthma and a narrow trachea giving him access to only about 20% of the air an average person would breathe, was at one time considered the best swimmer in the world and a two-time Olympic gold medalist and a world record holder.
Neat.
Prior to Uncle Sam, the British character Brother Jonathan symbolized the independent American people after the Revolutionary War. However, Brother Jonathan faded into the figure of Uncle Sam, whose likeness to Lincoln and being made in America likely contributed to his longevity over Brother Jonathan. The Talmud, in the Talmud, regarding the question of method of verifying if previously broken penis has been healed, a rabbi presents a solution of making the person whose penis was at one time broken orgasm by placing a section of warmed barley into their anus and pressing on their prostate until they come, and then see if the cum comes through the perforation or not.
Fellas, is it gay to be Jewish? You literally get fucking warmed barley in your ass when your penis is broken.
Jack White from the band The White Stripes took Meg White's last name when they got married in 1996. That 56 number one singles have been released by artists from the city of Liverpool alone. Lobsters don't die from old age, they die from exhaustion.
Well, call me a lobster then.
A lobster.
Because I'm dying of exhaustion, kidding.
South Korea made a remake of 12 Angry Men for their country's first jury trial.
Oh my god. What did they rename it?
They kept the name.
Oh.
What were you going to say?
I was gonna say that this is my new favorite game. Holy shit.
People of Asian descent tend to have more severe obstructive sleep apnea than Caucasians of similar age and BMI. Differences in slight facial bone structure appear to be the reason why they have a higher risk for OSA.
Fascinating.
Pablo Fennick, a figure name-checked in the Beatles song Being for the Benefit of Mr. Kite, was the first recorded black circus owner in Britain. Liberia was founded in 1822 with the aim of establishing a self-sufficient colony for emancipated American slaves. It is Africa's first and oldest modern republic, and its capital city, Monrovia, was named after U.S. President James Monroe, a prominent supporter of the founding of Liberia.
Interesting.
We eat chicken drumsticks because the Victorian era taboo sexual urge was so strong that even using the word leg was considered impolite.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have to make sure I understand this correctly. We call them chicken drumsticks because calling them chicken legs would have been too horny.
Yep.
That's dumb.
Pigeons have been awarded medals for their service in World War II.
Oh yeah, they have. They've also been tried for war crimes, but we don't talk about that.
Humanity's ancestors used to be able to access vitamin C in their body, but lost this ability due to mutation, analog to other species. In Switzerland, every house is an atomic shelter, and there are population in case of a nuclear fallout. When you get a kidney transplant, they usually leave both of your original kidneys in your body, meaning you have 3 kidneys. Apple simply chose to pay a $5.5 million fine every week for months in the Netherlands instead of obeying orders from the Authority of Consumers and Markets to allow third-party payment systems and Dutch apps.
That seems like a waste.
Yeah, so rather than letting you pay using PayPal or Venmo or whatnot uh, on Apple devices as ordered by the Dutch government, Apple just chose to pay $5.5 million every week.
I mean, that's on them, I guess. Like, that's between them and God.
In 1996, a study found that homophobia arousal that the subject is either unaware of their desires or denies it.
Hmm.
Volcan Cayambe in Ecuador is the only place on Earth where the equator intersects with snow cover.
Hmm.
Mandated seatbelt interlock systems requiring the driver to first be seated and then buckle up before the car was able to start decreased seatbelt usage as drivers disabled systems in the early 70s in the US.
Hmm.
The Giesel Library at the University of California restricts access to the parts of Dr. Seuss's archives and forbids photography as materials even to researchers.
Hmm.
The flag of the East India Trading Company was nearly identical to the original flag adopted during the American Revolution. In fact, there is a theory that this was intentional, as some saw the company as sharing grievances with the American colonies against the British Empire. Corn sweet is where corn plants release corn sweat, where corn plants release water into the air. 1 acre of corn can release 3,000 to 4,000 gallons of water per day. It can raise the humidity level in the local area by 10%.
So what I'm hearing is that corn be pissing.
No.
Yes.
Simon Wells is the great grandson of science fiction author H.G. Wells, and he co directed an American tale, Fickle Goes West.
Oh my God. Also, H.G. Wells was a woman. There's no denying that.
I don't think that's true.
No, it was a plot point in Warehouse 13. The actual, like, H.G. Wells existed, but that was just like her brother
Yeah,
or
we have
something.
actual photos of H.G. Wells.
Yeah, I know. I'm just remembering the plot from fucking Warehouse 13. H.G. Wells, who was a woman in Warehouse 13, was basically because
And she tried to end the world.
Yes, she tried to end the world, but the previous like plot of her was she used to be a warehouse agent. She let her, I think it was her brother. She let her brother publish her stories under the H.G. Wells, and then after trying to end the world, she basically got bronzed.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
The head of the Swedish Uppsala Mafia, made off with over $200 million with the release of a handheld gaming console called the Gizmondo that was immediately met with such harsh negative reception it was denied and was deemed one of the worst gaming consoles ever made.
Interesting.
Mao Fai can be credited with keeping traditional way finding alive for the indigenous peoples of Oceania.
Hmm.
Greek myth of Perseus and Andromeda takes place in Ethiopia.
Hmm.
In the story, the daughter of the king Aethiopia, modern day Ethiopia, Andromeda is chained to a rock as sacrificed to a sea monster, but is saved from death by Perseus, who marries her and takes her to Greece.
Didn't Perseus use the Medusa head to freeze the what's it called? Freeze the sea monster?
I'm not sure if that's in the original story, if that was just in the claymation one.
Brad, that's what your name is.
Fuck, my nose is bleeding.
Oh no.
No.
Has
No. Don't worry, I got tissues. Le Cocoyas family owned a restaurant, but since the Pennsylvania Dutch could not pronounce La Coca, an Italian name, and said Yoko instead, the name was changed to reflect their pronunciation. Window taxes, an old form of property taxes which led some owners to brick over their windows.
oh no. Isn't there like a TV tax in the UK?
Yep.
That's dumb.
The UK also in like the 80s said they had for people who were pirating the BBC, like using like their neighbors' lines or whatnot, to watch it without paying their TV tax. The British Broadcasting Network, they had vans with like television, like radio wavelength, like trackers that could figure out if you were actually watching television in your house without paying your tax.
That's so stupid.
It never existed. It was dumb. In the 1860s, thousands of octagonal houses started in the United States. Orson Flowers' book that popularized this layout claimed it was a more efficient use of space, energy, and cost than square structures. It is estimated around 2 octagonal homes remain. Canadian lottery winners must correctly answer the math question without using it before they can claim their winnings.
I'm sorry, they have to do what?
Correctly answer a math question without using a calculator.
Die?
Jonah Hill holds the record for cursing on screen. Now holds the record for the number of curse words uttered on screen, putting Samuel L. Jackson in second place.
Motherfucker. Hey, I get it. I'm funny.
Bye, guys, girls, non-binary.
No, I still want to keep fighting through the bureaucracy of hell. Ah!